Good afternoon once again, distinguished Nigerians across the globe. Once again, my name is Ambassador Joseph Kolaole Adebola. I'm your host today, and I welcome you all to our usual weekly Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. But before we get the conference off the ground, can we please stand up as we play our national anthem?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all, and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Thank you so very much, everyone. Our country is our country, so, like the word says, though tongues may differ, we are brothers and we are sisters. So we are our brothers and sisters keeper. So that is what we are as Nigerians, and that is why we are unique. Thank you so very much for once again being part of this program, our weekly virtual conference. Today's conference is yet another edition with a special guest who, for the next 2 hours, will engage Nigerians across the globe on the chosen theme for today, titled Nigeria's Journey to the Stars, Building a Globally Competitive Space Industry Through Innovation and International Partnerships. My co-hosts today are Honorable Jacob Obusheye, Hajiya Bello Abakar, Honorable Udeme Ukwe, Ambassador Kairat Animasha Wajiboye, Honorable Sheung Bayewu, Alhaja Aulat Sule, and Barrister Tosin Olayinka, who will be assisting me in moderating today's conference to ensure a smooth and uninterrupted deliberation. This conference, as you all know by now, is always streaming live across social media, and especially on Ben TV UK, and Ben TV UK, the first Nigerian African digital TV channel, headed by its CEO, Alistair Sheridan, and of course on Diaspora TV from Switzerland, which is also led by another Nigerian, Honorable Mark Bamidele. Many thanks to you guys for supporting and assisting us always. Now, again, it's always my pleasure to look around the conference room, and I can see, as usual, new faces. Every week we keep getting new faces in conjunction with the old participants. So thank you all for being part of this program. We always appreciate your presence here. And I guess towards the end of the program, I will be acknowledging the presence of our leaders and stakeholders across the world. Thank you so very much. In the meantime, on behalf of the team behind the Renew Hope Global, I welcome you all to this wonderful session. Today's session is a very unique one in the sense that we are dealing with a topic that many Nigerians are oblivious about. Many, I think I've had it before when somebody said to me that even our satellite, whatever in the orbit has been stolen. A lot of people believe that. But today, we now go hear the cocoa from the man who is in charge, the man who, through his experience, has been headhunted by the president to head the agency that's dealing with everything that has to do with Nigeria and the orbits. So today we have in our midst Dr. Matthew Olumide Adepoju, who will be engaging us with us for the next 2 hours on the theme of today, which is Nigeria's journey to the stars, building a globally competitive space industry through innovation and international partnerships. So, to set the ball rolling for this virtual conference, please permit me to read out the profile of our special guest, Dr. Matthew Olumide Adepoju. Dr. Matthew Olumide Adepoju is the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Space Research and Development Agency, NASRIDA, Nigeria's apex institution for space science, satellite technology, and Earth observation. A highly respected geospatial scientist and remote, this is the first time I'm hearing that, a highly respected geospatial, I have to say that, very well, a highly respected geospatial scientist and remote sensing expert. He has built an outstanding career spanning research, innovation, and public sector leadership. His academic qualifications from leading institutions in Nigeria and the United Kingdom, including postgraduate studies in geographical information science and a doctorate in geospatial science, Dr. Adepoju has established himself as one of Nigeria's foremost authorities in geographic information systems, GIS, satellite applications, artificial intelligence for geospatial analytics, and digital mapping. Before his appointment as Director General by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2024, Dr. Adepoju spent more than 15 years at NASRIDA, that is NASRDA, rising through the ranks from research and technical leadership to senior management. Through his career, he has led numerous national initiatives in satellite image analysis, disaster risk management, environmental monitoring, agricultural mapping, urban planning, and national spatial data infrastructure. His work has helped strengthen the use of space technology in addressing critical national challenges, including food security, climate change, infrastructure development, security, and sustainable economic planning. Since assuming office, Dr. Adepoju has championed a transformative vision aimed at positioning Nigeria's space program as a major driver of economic growth, technological innovation, and national development. Under his leadership, NASRIDA has intensified efforts to commercialize space technologies, promote indigenous satellite development, strengthen public-private partnerships, expand international collaborations, and build the next generation of Nigerian space scientists and innovators. He has consistently advocated for greater investment in space economy, recognizing its immense potential to support agriculture, healthcare, transportation, environmental sustainability, digital governance, and national security. A respected thought leader and international ambassador for Nigeria's space sector, Dr. Adepoju has represented the country at numerous global conferences and collaborated with organizations such as the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA, the World Bank, UN Habitat, and other international institutions. Through his visionary leadership, technical expertise, and commitment to innovation, he continues to position Nigeria as a leading spacefaring nation in Africa while advancing strategic use of science and technology to drive inclusive development, global competitiveness, and sustainable prosperity. That, in a nutshell, is the brief profile of our special guest of today. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Matthew Olumide Adepoju to the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. Thank you so very much, sir, for Your Excellency, for being part of this program. I know it's so hard to be able to get our leaders to come on this program. That is why we appreciate you every time you agree to come, because I know you have a lot on your plates, and it's not always easy to come and sit with Nigerians across the globe for 2 hours and having a chit chat over issues. But then, because most of our leaders, as we have come to understand in the last couple of 2.5 years that we started this program, are all responsive to the yearnings of Nigerians. So that is why every time we knock on your doors, you always oblige us, which is very much very much appreciated. So we will now go straight into the conference now. Normally, this is where I begin to start fire my questions at our special guest. But I understand that you have a PowerPoint presentation to make. So for that, I will yield the floor to you. You have at least the next 1 hour to regale us with what you have been doing as the DG of NASRIDA. So you have the floor now, sir. So you can take it up. Thank you so very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, my dear brother, the chief host, and then all the co-hosts. First and foremost, I want to appreciate everybody that joined this meeting, and I've heard quite a lot about the commitment of the regular observer of this program. It's a great opportunity to speak to wonderful Nigerians and friends of Nigeria all over the world. This platform is a platform that I so much respect and then appreciate what we are doing on this platform. When I saw the Ben TV, I was in England when Ben TV came on board, and we were like, "Oh wow, we have our own Black people doing wonders before new influx of people into this arena." So you are a breaker of many grants. I will probably share my screen so
Okay.
that the reason why I opted to make presentation is they say seeing is believing. There's
Yeah.
quite a lot of things that we might want to talk about, but when I make presentation, people will understand the agency much, much better. And I want to find out if we can see the screen being shared.
Yes.
Okay, let me go to the presentation slide now, mode. Okay, good. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I want to start by saying Nigerian Space Program, because let me lay the foundation so that when we ask questions, then the question will be targeted to knowledge that we already have about the agency. So like my brother mentioned, I was appointed last year, May 24th, 2 years ago, 2004. But July 13 was the confirmation from the Senate. And of course, today I will run through the slide through introduction of the agency, some of the space mission, just like the Hancock man, the chief host mentioned, stealing of satellite in the orbit. We will use this platform to put a stop to that, or put information. Then capacity building program of the agency, and of course, leadership paradigm shift. This has to deal with what I've brought onto the table since my appointment as Director General and Chief Executive. Then I want to talk about the strategic direction of the agency, then I can conclude. I would like to fly through the slides so that we have enough time for us to make conversations. And thank you very much. This is the National Space Research and Development Agency. We are located on Obasanjo International Airport Road, Abuja. The campus is named after the president that has done so much for the agency. So the campus is named Obasanjo Space Center. We are just after ShopRite before you get to Ludwig Interchange. On the picture, the one at the left on top is the gate entrance of the agency. The one at the top is one of our application centers. And then the one at the bottom right, left, that is Nikomsat Grand Station. And of course, the last one is the headquarters building of the Space Agency. So the agency was established in 1999, just toward the twilight of the General Abdul Salam Abacha's administration. And coming on board of President President Olusegun Obasanjo, it took interest in the space program, because going back 1976, when he was the military head of Nigeria, he made budgetary provision for 2 million naira, as at that time, we put it in context, that was more than $2 million, for some great scientists to go all over the world to study the space program and give Nigeria blueprint for Nigerian space program. Those people could barely spend 200,000 naira out of the money, but successive government did not take hold of what we supposed to be doing. So since establishment of the agency, we have the space policy, which was approved in 2001. Then we developed a 25-year roadmap, which was approved by Federal Executive Council in 2005. And then the NASDAQ hat was approved in 2007, but it was passed into law by National Assembly in 2010. It was signed by President Goodluck Jonathan Ebele. The core mandate of the agency is research and development, capacity building, engineering development, software and hardware development. That is the caption of who we have. The NASDAQ Act 2010 made provision for the National Space Council. National Space Council is the highest decision-making body for space program and activities in Nigeria, and it is chaired by Mr. President, and Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria is the Vice Chairman of the Space Council, while myself, the DG, is a member of the Space Council, as well as the Secretary of the Space Council as well. The Act empowers the National Space Research and Development Agency to develop all kinds of satellites, communication, Earth observation, meteorological, scientific, intelligence, all kinds of satellites. So we are not limited to Earth observation satellite as some people usually misinform Nigerians. And of course, NASA is the signatory to UN Committee on Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. Every international space treaty, NASA, the space agency, is responsible for this. And of course, the other organizations, agencies of government have board. But in my own case, I have the National Space Council. You can see the picture on the left-hand side. That was one of the council's meeting. That was 2021, chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari. May so rest in peace. Then the one on the right-hand side, from my side here, is 2026, which was chaired by Vice President Shetima at FIP's conference room. You can see my minister there. We have the ministers as council member, Minister of Innovation, Science and Tech, Attorney General of the Federation, Minister of Information, Minister of Communications, Minister of Education, Minister of Defense, and few other ministers in council. Of course, that is the highest decision-making body for space program in Nigeria. Of course, the mandate of the agency is majorly on research and development. Sometimes people misconstrue R&D for just academic research. When you finish the research, you must develop products and services. And that is one of the things that I met on ground that has not been actually focused energy into. And that's why I put more effort in breathing life into that aspect. Then coordination and regulation of the space activities of Nigeria is one of our core mandates. Then to implement the National Space Program has been approved by the Council. The agency is in charge of that. All these things put together is to strengthen Nigeria's socioeconomic development and make sure that we are globally competitive in everything we do. And that is where we have focused our energy. On coming on board, the slide I'm showing now is our institutional framework. We have the Space Council as the apex, followed by the Office of the Director General and Chief Executive. Of course, I have a minister that monitors my activities, Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Barrister Dr. Ude Kingsley, who is SAN. And when I came on board, the first thing I first did, of course, I've been in the agency for some time. That gave me opportunity to observe the direction of the agency, and I conducted a SWOT analysis. My SWOT analysis showed that we need institutional realignment and then creation of new departments, which we have to bring Department of Artificial Intelligence and Space Robotics, Department of Space Development, Space Economic Development, and then Department of International Cooperation and Linkages. and few others. And in the same light, there are new centers and laboratories, 8 of them in total. So all in total, we have 28 centers and laboratories spread across geopolitical zones of the country. Most of the laboratories are established based on peculiar needs of each of the geopolitical zone of the country. Of course, these are few of the laboratories and centers that we have. We have Center for Geodesy and Geodynamics. It's in Bauchi State. This center focuses on the crustal movement, tectonic plate movement, and deep space geodesy and geodynamics. We have Center for Basic Space, which is Center for our astronomical activities in Nigeria. That one is in Nsukka in Nigeria here. We have Center for Space Transport and Propulsion. That's the center that is newly christened as Bola Ahmed Tinubu Space Center for Transport and Propulsion. That's our rocketry center. It's located in Epe in Lagos State. And of course, the Space Council meeting that was held in March this year approved the development of this infrastructure because it is a huge economic opportunity for the country. We have Center for Space Technology Education in Ile-Ife. This one is co-owned by Nigeria and then United UNOSAS. So, of course, National Center for Remote Sensing. We have Center for Satellite Technology Development. And of course, I use the GeoApps to represent all the other companies that we have. And then we have our laboratories spread across the country too. Our Nigerian space missions. We have conducted 6 space missions in NASDAQ. And our brother, Defense Space Administration, has done one space mission, which is a DESAT-1. That is a satellite launched by our military wing, the Defense Space Administration. And the satellite is registered in the name of NASDAQ. You know, all of us, if you get to the airport, you see most of the aircraft in Nigeria start with 5N. Same thing in the space sector. Every object that is owned to be launched into outer space in Nigeria must carry a unique number from NASDAQ as a signatory to United Nations Committee on Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. We are the one that regulate that setup. Now, since the inception of the agency in 1999, we first launched made by African satellite in 2003. That satellite is Nigerian Sat-1. It is an Earth observation satellite. Our engineers were part of the people that developed the satellite at Surrey Satellite Technology Center in the United Kingdom. And of course, after that one, NikonSat-1 was launched. NikonSat-1 is the Nigeria Communication Satellite 1, which was launched by NASDAQ. And 3 months after the satellite get into operation, then there was a problem with the wing that you are seeing on the second satellite on the screen. That is the solar panel. That solar panel was not moving according to the program that was meant for. So the battery on board was running down. We had to deorbit the satellite. But the press went out to report that, oh, Nigeria has lost multi-million-dollar satellite. And then that's why some people say, oh, the satellite was stolen. The satellite was never stolen. The satellite was never lost. But we deorbited the satellite to cut down the risk upon the satellite, because if you cannot control your satellite out there, if you crash into another satellite, you are not only losing yours, you have to pay insurance heavily for other satellites. And when you look at the image beneath that one, the NikonSat-1R, we signed insurance that was still ineffective. We activated insurance, and that gave back to the NikonSat-1R. The NikonSat-1R was launched in 2011 because we have to develop another satellite from the scratch with our partners in China. And then that was launched as a replacement. That 1R means that replacement for the NikonSat-1. And it is of note, which is one of the things that the Chinese space program are celebrating Nigeria. We are the first country in the world that gave them their international breakthrough by signing an agreement with them. Then the Earth observation satellite, we launched another one in Nigerian Sat-2 in 2011. And you can see my engineers in the laboratory in United Kingdom building the satellite. And in the course of doing that, we gave them task they were able to build replica, which is called Nigeria Sat X. So all these 3 satellites were launched into the orbit in 2012, about 2011. Then, after some years, some of our scientists, they were one of our engineers was in Japan. So we gave him money because after his training, he was able to develop EduSat-1, which is Nigeria Educational Satellite. It's a research satellite. This satellite is what many other African countries, especially Ghana, this is a model of the student work that they launched in Ghana that they said Ghana has launched one satellite. But nonetheless, that's not a discussion for today. So you can see the last image. That's the first image that came from Nigeria SatX satellite. This image and this satellite is so dear to us because it was the first made by African satellite, though it was made at the Surrey Satellite Technology Development Center in United Kingdom. And of course, we are distrust of making sure that we begin to manufacture satellites in Nigeria when I get to that slide. Now, the next satellite is slide is to show you the picture of our engineers when they were in Surrey, when they were developing this satellite. Some of them are directors now, some of them are deputy director and assistant directors. And of course, this is the nano satellite that I talk about, EduSat. The ground station for that satellite was actually developed in Nigeria by our engineer. That's the picture at the bottom. And the countries that participated in this one was Nigeria, Ghana, Mongolia, and Bangladesh. So you can see the flag of those countries in the picture at the top. That was the picture on the right-hand side. That was the picture for our former minister and the former DG when they were tracking the satellite while it was in the orbit from the ground station in Abuja here. So during this period, we've had all these major achievements after the missions of Nigeria Sat-1, Nigeria Sat-2, Nigeria Sat-X. Of course, the Nikomsat satellite, we put a company together to commercialize the transponder on the Nikomsat satellite. And the company is named Nikomsat Nigeria Limited. Due to some leadership issue, the company decided to sever relationship with the agency and move into another ministry. They are now in the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, but we have a robust working relationship together. During all this program, we have used the images for various applications. We have conducted trainings and so on and so forth. You can see the figures of money that we've saved Nigeria with the satellite missions. One of our major achievements is capacity building in the agency. Right now, I have almost 6,000 workforce in NASDAQ. And out of this 6,000 workforce, we give ourselves target that we must have 200 PhD holder by 2025. But I'm telling you authoritatively now that I have over 300 PhD holders in NASA. Some of us are even professors. And I have more than 2,000 master's degree holder. And the list is on and on. Because we came up with a model of know-how technical transfer. Any mission, any project that we are embarking upon in NASDAQ, we always send our engineer. On Nigerian Sat-1, 15 engineers were highly trained. On Nikon Sat-1, 55 engineers were sent to China to be highly trained. Some of them have even served in the highest level in the military. Nigerian Sat-2, we sent 27 engineers, and the case is going to be for subsequent missions. So all these satellites I mentioned about, most of them have been decommissioned. Nigeria Sat-1 has been decommissioned. Nigeria Sat-2 has been decommissioned. Nigeria Sat-S has been decommissioned, meaning that we have retired those satellites because they were meant to last 7 years. Some of them last more than 10 years. For instance, Nigeria Sat-X and Nigeria Sat-2 were decommissioned last year. When after being launched since 2001, you can see the number of years that the satellites stayed in the orbit, and we use it. We have used it for civil applications, security application, and many and scientific and research work too. So you can see, this picture is very important for me to show because when I became the DG of the space agency, there used to be animosity, and then the working relationship between NASA, Defense Space Administration, and NICOMSAT was not so cordial. But some of elders brought us together, we brokered peace, and then we jointly celebrated Nigeria 25 years in space with Unity at Home as the title. So you can see Managing Director of NICOMSAT, Lady Jane Egerton, myself, and then the former Chief of Defense Space Administration, whom we were at this retirement dinner yesterday night. So, on the issue of on the leadership paradigm shift, upon assuming the duty as the Director General of the Space Agency, one key thing that first stand out for me is to create a focus for my engineers. So and I came up with this 3-point agenda, which number one is transformation, because I know the agency needs to be transformed to globally competitive agency, because a space agency is not a localized agency. It's an agency that functions within the global ecosystem. And that's why transformation of NASA towards global competitiveness is number one. Number two, I could sense, because I was part of the staff, many of us have lost hope of better space agency. So in keying with the mantra and then the direction, strategic direction of Mr. President to renew the hope of the staff, one of the key principal platform is to unleash the greatness of our officers to manifest their dreams. And that this has to do with the welfare, providing the good condition for officers to thrive. And God has been helping us. The third one, I know for a fact that government all over the world cannot sponsor space program alone. And the potential in the space economy is enormous. So I came up with the idea that we need to mainstream the private sector into Nigeria's space ecosystem. We are one of the largest consumers of the space products and services on the continent of Africa. We are even bigger than many European countries in consumption. But when it comes to products and services, these are all imported to the country. Then, secondly, branding and rebranding of the agency is very, very vital. I look at the logo of the agency. This logo does not really speak to who we are. And on the left-hand side, you can see the old logo of the agency. And on the right-hand side, you can see the new logo of the agency, which speaks to what we have. And you can always see the distinctiveness. The rocket is in the middle of it because this logo means a lot to us in NASA. That rocket means the engine room of any space program in any nation is to develop indigenous capability to put the satellite in the outer space without reliant on any other nation. And when you look at the background, you see blue. Blue is the color that we use in the space sector. And all those dot-like stars, those are our centers and laboratories that are in existence, and the fading one are the ones to come. When you look at the stars at the bottom of the rocket, those are 6 stars representing 6 geopolitical zones and structure in the country, as well as the diamond that is there. It takes a man with the heart of a diamond to sit on top of rocket and say he's going to outer space. Thank you very much. That's on that new logo. Now, this is one of the achievements since I came on board as well. I look at what we have. Most of our satellites are of age. So we have to quickly develop council memo, and we met with the president, and the president graciously approved 4 new satellites for us to replace those ones that we were about to deorbited, and those ones that has been deorbited before my arrival. So Nigerian Sat 3 was approved, Nigerian Sat 4 was approved, Nigerian Sat 5 was approved, and then Nigerian Sat 1 was approved as well. And we didn't even wait on the presidential approval. We got the fake approval as well. Right now, the procurement process and the training capacity and everything is at the top level for us to launch those satellites very, very, very soon. And I'm super grateful to the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for this approval, and then my minister as well for making all these things happen for the agency. So in the same vein, we've carried out institutional reforms to make sure that the agency is well positioned for revenue drive. So we've established new enterprise with new companies. We established the Department of Space Enterprise, and then new companies. We have old companies, and then we established new ones. We've signed a PPP arrangement with other companies. We have Milky Way Fisheries Limited. We have Go 360 Nigeria Limited, Star Trek Nigeria Limited, and many more. In fact, very soon, our balloon will be flying in Abuja here. Everything we need to do for the balloon is being done, and we will soon launch it for commercial purpose and tourism development as well. And of course, one other approval that we've got from the president and the Space Council is space regulation and spectrum management. You can imagine the communication is moving to the space sector now. That's why Starlink is one of the fastest growing space economic sector because it's of global reach. So this sector needs to be regulated, unlike the usual way of regulation by NCC and then with MTN and co. When it comes to the space sector, it's totally different because your equipment, your phone, your television, everything will receive signal directly from the satellite, bypassing all those masts that we used to have. Of course, in the next 10 years in particular, the need for the mast will be reduced completely and our city will be more cleaner. Of course, in the foray to implement this, we've met with the chairman of EFCC, who have a critical role to play. We've met with the DG of NIA too, because all this our relationship have an intercontinental dimension. And of course, we've met with the Minister of Defense and many hosts of others. We've met more than 30 leaders in the entire ecosystem in Nigeria and globally as well. So these are some of the special programs. This is one of our rocketry program. Right now, we are at 50 kilometers for our rocketry program in Nigeria. And this one, we are ready to scale it up to another level because the president already gave us a marching order to achieve the space capability within the shortest possible time. Thank you. Probably have to jump this one. These are serious. Since 2019, we have mastered the lift off. Our rocket doesn't blow up at the launch anymore. And at this level, the most important thing here, all the materials we use for this rocket are sourced in Nigeria here. None of them are imported. Even the rocket fuel were developed by engineers and scientists in Nigeria here. And so these are series of launch that we conducted. We are even recovering some of those fuselage when we launch them at our center in Epedia. So these are some of the special programs that the agency is running and seismic monitoring activities in Nigeria. We have established 21 seismic monitoring stations across the country. Of course, we still have gaps because that's why we said that next installation, those areas where we have red dot, red triangle, those are the areas we need to densify our seismic monitoring. Recently, you heard the Minister of Dr. Dele Adaki addressing the country, especially people who live in Abuja here around in Papi, about the seismic activity like air tremor. We are monitoring the seismic activities across the country. And of course, our equipment is doing the same thing in Papi area to ensure that everybody is safe. And of course, this is one of our special programs as well. Very long baseline interferometry program. This is a collaboration between NASDA and the Chinese institutions. This equipment that we are looking at here, this is the first of its kind in Sub-Saharan Africa. There's no other country that have this one, and it is for high-level, high-resolution radio astronomy, geodesy, and earth science, and of course, earth orientation monitoring, even the spacecraft tracking, and many, many other functions that this ground station will be working for us for. It is one of its kind that is in Africa, and we are the owner of it. So this is one of our special program as well, the Presidential Directive for Mainstreaming Space Technology to block revenue leakages and strengthening national security. I can't talk much about this one, but we are in partnership with Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, and as well as a Nigerian Revenue Service, the former FIRS. and we are using space-based radio frequency analytics to get the job done. In the same vein, when you hear the new figure from the Solid Minerals Ministry, we are actually one of the people behind them, monitoring the mining activities across the country. And some of our reports, some of our intervention is helping the ministry. In the same vein, we've developed the framework for steel development in Nigeria, which we've submitted the framework to the Minister of Steel Development. We are waiting for further engagement. Of course, maritime domain awareness is one of the things that we are working in that area as well. So going further to, yeah, sorry. So we have a destructive skill acquisition program for Nigerian youth. This is the architectural 3D of the center. This center is at 65% completion now, because due to lack of a budgetary release for 2025 and 2026, this center will have been ready by now. So this is destructive skill acquisition hub. We have 6 of these proposed to be built in Nigeria. We are starting the one in Abuja here for the North Central. And of course, you will see the reason and why this center is very important to Nigerian youth. And the laboratory can seat up to 75 people at a go for the training. The rationale behind this one is because we identify the gap, and there's huge opportunities in our ecosystem to equip Nigerian youth with skills that is very, very important for them to actually do a great job. We want to train them on software development. We want to train them on hardware integration as well. And these are some of the things. Our target is to train about 15,000 youth annually in those facilities on software development. I submitted the proposal to the Minister of Youth Development and even my Minister of Innovation, Science and Tech. Very soon, we will carry out stakeholders engagement to kickstart this program for Nigerian youth. Majorly, we want to develop their capacity in the area of making phones, tablets, and workstations, and the likes. So these are some of the spin-off from the agency. We have developed some embedded systems that are very good for hardware in the area of mobile phone and the rest. The space situation awareness, these are some of the things. Nigeria is a big landmass, but the only way we can do this work better is through the space sector. And of course, the launch of space regulation and spectrum management is going to make sure that we do things the right way. Space sector is actually divided into 3: upstream, midstream, and downstream. And maybe during the engagement, I can talk more on that. Some of the achievements under my 2 years leadership, we've got approval for 3 new optical satellites and 1 synthetic satellite. We've created new department, and then we focus the agency. And of course, in the area of revenue, we are being actively involved in making sure that the revenue of the country, because one of our major contribution is towards this $1 trillion economic target of our Mr. President by 2030. In the international collaboration, we've stepped up our international collaboration. Some of the grant that we've already secured is in the area of climate smart agriculture with artificial intelligence. We are even working with EU on another set of grant and World Bank right now. And these are some of the international strategic partnership that we've signed with some of the companies in US, Europe, China, and in Nigeria here. Even at local level here, we are working with Imo State government to develop their land information system. That has been commissioned and everything is okay there. We've signed MOU with Kogi State government. Tetron is working with us and so many other aspects of our engagement as well. So strategic direction. This is where the agency has taken the direction to. We are taking NASDAQ to the world. And to do that, we already gone to the world and we are inviting the world to come and join us. In fact, this October, we are having 10th AfriGeo Symposium. All over the world, people are coming to Nigeria here. We are going to have about more than 200 participants globally that will come to Abuja here. And locally, we are estimating about 300 to join on site as well. So we are providing good leadership for African space sector. And of course, one of our major area is to develop the research and development. There are so many research and development that agency have got. Spin-off from this is what we want to focus energy on. Strategic space applications. Quite a lot of things we've done in the area of application, but we want to deepen our collaboration. Then this space mission, we are the signatory to Artemis Accord, which is a NASA-led space mission, and our Department of Physical and Life Science is taking the lead on this. Development of critical space infrastructure. This is one of the things I'm celebrating Mr. President for. He has given us approval to develop our satellite manufacturing hub in Nigeria here, mainstreaming the space sector into private sector. That's why we are having all these symposium and then the African Space Economic Conference, and for youth empowerment as well. The skill acquisition hub that has been approved is one of the things that will help Nigeria. Of course, one of the conference that we are having again this year is November 24 to 2027. All the people we are seeing on the flyer here on the left-hand side, they are chief executive of space agencies all over the world. More than 50 of them have confirmed physical attendance in Abuja here. And I'm inviting all of us who are on this meeting to actually join the conference. The purpose of this one is to create a platform for scientists, business leaders, and policymakers to discuss the direction and forge a way for Africans not to play catch up in the space economy in this industrial 4.0 that we are already at the beginning of it. So we focus on this one. We want to unlock the investment for startups and even establish companies in enhancing Africans' presence in the space global arena. So these are some of the satellites and deep space exploration. These are some of the equipments that we have in the agency. And of course, we want to develop launch facility in Nigeria as well. We are talking to some of our technical partners. I've talked about the Artemis Accord and then some of the life science and biotechnology. Mainstreaming the space technology that I've talked about, on this aspect, it's not only for economic purpose. In the area of disaster, flood, drought, climate change, land degradation, pollution, we have done work in this area. We are supporting Ministry of Agri, Ministry of all the sectors. We are supporting them. And of course, we have the blue economy area that is our major focus as well during this my administration. And of course, our rocketry program, as I mentioned, we have been giving marching order to make sure that we move from 15 kilometers to 150 kilometers. We know for a fact, immediately we have the capability that beats 100 kilometers, we're already in outer space. So our first target is to target 150 kilometers to be able to deliver made in Nigerian satellite and made in Nigerian rocket into the outer space. That's our ultimate goal, and that shall come to reality under my leadership. Artificial intelligence is one of the things that we prioritize, and that's why we created a whole department for this purpose, to ensure that our scientists and engineers, and even those who are not in the agency, have a place to actually do a great job for the country. Blockchain technology, this is one aspect that we are mainstreaming as well for the entire country in the area of taxation, in the area of land administration, and many other revenue area to enhance transparency. We are working with NRS and some state government in this area. Of course, there's one of our program that is running now, pixel level mapping with blockchain technology. This is one of the key areas in which we can manage our natural resources very well in the country. Very good for security, decentralization, international cooperation, smart contract, transparency, and so on and so forth. NASDAQ's a tech nation. We are the cutting edge for scientific breakthrough, and that's why we are focusing our energy in this aspect of AI, open data analytics, and so on and so forth. And of course, the AI, the satellite that we are launching, we are going to make sure that they are AI on board, that they can, as they are taking the image, they can process the image and send information to us for disaster quick response. You can see the image on this slide. Those are some of our towns and cities being subsumed by flood in the past, which we have deployed UN platform that we have. We have UN Spider in the agency that usually declare that one for international help. Precision agriculture, of course, the way we usually do our agriculture, but when we go into precision agriculture, we can have and ensure we have food security in the country. Drone technology, we have a whole center that have developed drone, and we are on high partnership now to be churning out at commercial level of the drones for the use in the area of fast assessment of uh, uh, disaster area, precision agriculture, and many, many more. In the Internet of Things, these are part of the things that we already even master and we want to commercialize in the agency. Future opportunity, the agency is well positioned to engage, and we already signed a lot of international collaboration that we are already midwifing into maturity. In conclusion, to recap what I've said in essence, we want to accelerate Nigeria's capability and capacity in AI, robotics, quantum computing, and advanced supply system. On this area, because I've given my engineers that we need to begin to talk about the satellite, that we host our data center in the outer space. These are some of the things that we are already working on at the agency and policy level. Strengthening the ability and our innovative research through the international collaboration. These are some of the things that are very dear to me and dear to the agency to position Nigeria a key global player in the space economy and development of the cutting-edge technology. This one will empower the next generation of our children, those who are in school now and those who are yet to be born, so that Nigeria can attain this industrial level and industrialization that can drive our long-term national development. Investment in this aspect, knowledge sharing, and so on and so forth. This is our determination to fund and establish a state-of-the-art training hub and then facility in the agency. In fact, we will soon be in the issue of a scholarship. I think the paper is already on my table for exchange program, scholarship for scientists and our students across the country. We know this picture, I put it here, 787 Dreamliner structure suppliers. When you enter one aeroplane, not only one nation makes the entire component of aeroplane. Different nations come together. Same thing in the space sector. Nigeria wants to be a critical player in the development of a space object. And that's why we are partnering. Many of you who follow my activities going to this country, going to another one, because we know in the space sector, NASDAQ cannot stand alone. We need to collaborate. We need to have partnership with those who are ahead of us, and so that we too can develop products and services that become essential to them to utilize as well. On this note, I want to stop in here for us to have enough time for engagement and feedback as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. What can I say? Thank you so very much, sir, for that elaborate, I'll call it expose on the space program of our country. Because, like I said at the beginning of the program, there's been a lot of fallacies thrown about regarding Nigeria's ambition to orbit the space. Is that the right word for it?
Yeah.
So much so that it's so funny. You see, this is why, for me, I believe in this conference, because this is where, if you want to get the authentic information as to the progress being made by this country, because some people are blinded to the progress we are making in this country. No matter, even if that progress sits on their nose, they will still not see it. You see, so that is why we will continue to do what we are doing every week to make sure that we drag them to the reality of Nigeria, kicking and screaming, whether they like it or not. And that is why I have to express our appreciation to you, sir, for granting our invitation, and not only coming here, because it's been a while since someone took us back to school. We experience that almost every week. But because we've not, for the past 3 or 4 weeks now, we've not had a PowerPoint presentation. You brought one out that is complete. Now, you see, one funny thing about your presentation is the fact that there's no gobbledygook. Everything is simplified because this is a scientific presentation, and in under normal circumstance, such presentation will bore you to death. But this one came in a different format. You made it so simplistic that even somebody who know read book too much will understand what they did. I'm trying to speak the word of the streets now. So thank you so very much for that, sir, because this for me is highly educative, and I believe every other person who has been here has been blessed too, just as I have been blessed. So thank you so very much for that. And we will now move swiftly to the question and answer session now. So let me call one of my co-hosts to take on the first 3 questions. Then I'll go to the next co-host to take another 3 questions. So anybody who has questions, please put up your hands now. We at 6 o'clock on the dot, we are stopping. Doesn't matter if we still have 10 hands up. So if you know you have a question, this is time for you to please come up now and put up your hand so that we can move it swiftly and make sure that we give room for everybody to be able to ask their question. So thank you so very much. So let me call on Alhaji Dauda Adams as my co-host to take the first 3 questions. Then he will yield the floor to special guests to answer those questions. Whilst other participants who have questions should please make sure that they put up their hands now rather than leave it till the last minute. Thank you so very much. So Alhaji Dauda Adams, you have the floor now, sir.
Okay, thank you, our chairman, Ambassador J.K. Adebola. My name is Alhaji Adams, and thank you for our VVIP. You are welcome. From all what you've said, I follow it since 1999 when those events were taking place. So it was very nice to see that there's progress, because there was a time that, we don't know much what is happening. And as you said, there's a lot of applications that depends on the satellites. Yeah. Recently in Europe, the Spain have been using satellite to map the fire outbreak, and they can proactively deploy people, fire people, to go and break that fire and evacuate people. So there's a lot of application in here. Education, you've mentioned, agriculture. There's a lot that is depend on this, and it will boost our economy, as you said. So thank you very much for your presentations.
Thank you, sir.
I'll go ahead and call Engineer Patrick Obidoyin. Please make your statement or ask your questions, and within 2 minutes, please, because we have a lot of hand on. Thank you very much. Unmute yourself now, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, Alhaji Dauda, for giving me the space. And thank you, Ambassador J.K. Adebola, for always bringing this to us. When I saw your invitation, I said, this one I mustn't miss, because it's an area of interest to me, deep interest. And thank you, Dr. Adepoju, for the elaborate presentation. Interestingly, my own final year project in the university was around design of a 2.4 meter petalized aluminum dish. So that shows the interest I have in this area. Yeah, and also I think interestingly about in 2023, when you were planning towards your 25th anniversary celebration, I was at the NASDRA head office with Chief Beckhout, a publisher from Ibadan, who I think the DG was trying to engage to do the publication ahead of your 25th anniversary. Yeah, but I will go straight to my question, considering the limitation of the time I've got. So what has been the biggest challenge to the commercialization of your products and services? Is it policy or is it support from local companies? And I put this into context because I was listening to the governor of Anambra State saying he prefers to wear akwete because that gives more job to Nigerians, because that means local production, just as an example. And he cited the reason that he cited the fact that a lot of the people in the hall he was speaking with were actually in suits. So I think that's my question. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you
Let's
for your
take this one,
questions.
or we take some questions before I respond.
Yeah, let me take three participants, please. If you don't mind, is that okay?
That's beautiful, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I move on to Honorable Fako. Please, can you mute yourself and ask your question? Thank you. Honorable Fako? Honorable Fako, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, Honorable Fako, can you hear me? Okay, we'll come back to you, Honorable Fako. I'll move on now to Ibrahim Mutiu Olubenga. Please, can you ask your question, please?
Good evening, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Hello?
Go ahead, we can hear you.
Listen, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to ask, because one of the purpose of research and space center, like the one we have in Ekpe, is, I believe, is economic development, which creating of jobs, opportunity, business, and technological advancement is germane. I would like to ask, how is the job employment done? Because for me, living in Ekpe, we are familiar with the institution that we have in Ekpe and the disturb of the launch of rockets in most of the time, but we've never had the opportunity of any of our indigene or people from Ekpe being employed in the institution. Also, I want to know, is there any benefits for the host community? Because we know the kind of like chemical reactions and every other thing that maybe well, how do I put it, that are challenges to most of this area. So what are the benefits that host community for this institution do enjoy, and how is employment be done? Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. I will now move on to Abubakar Saji Puno. Please, could you ask your question or make your comment, please? Thank you. Hello, Abubakar Saji Puno. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have the floor now, please.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
So, mine is, yes, sir. Mine is as usual. It's not question, but today I have a little question, sir. After your
Fabo is online.
Honorable
Hello?
Fabo, could you hold on, please? Thank you. I'll call you back. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Puno.
Yes, I said after a special appreciation and we follow this activity, alhamdulillah. So mine today is a little question: how a young scientist like me and other young graduates have opportunity to spread their mind or to have at least opportunity to participate in the activities regarding the matter and other big activities. So thank you, sir. And also I really appreciate for the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think we couldn't hear you properly, but maybe you can make some sense out of it. I will now go back to our VVIP to respond to those questions and comments, and then we'll move on to the next time. So thank you, sir. The floor is yours, our VVIP.
Thank you very much, my dear brother Adams. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. The first comment came as a compliment, and then the first question is about what are the factors limiting towards the commercialization of our spin-off. Sincerely speaking, our problem is not policy. It's not policy. The major problem in the country is we are running a country that everybody's are importers. We have very few industrialists. Most billionaires believe in buying and selling and then quick money. And that's one of the things that the new hope agenda of Mr. President is going to do for the country. A lot of things have to be manufactured in the country. When we look at our engineering ecosystem, there's very few, if there's any company that can partner with us and develop product of space qualified standard. But now we are bridging that gap. In fact, there are some facilities that private sector may not be able to go in there at the beginning. So that facility is one of the things we are going to build. It's called AITDC, Assembly Integration and Development Center. Then leadership of the agency is another thing. The way we look at the agency before, and I'm saying this in with all seriousness, and then somebody who is an active participant in the program since 2008 that came back from United Kingdom. So we used to look at ourselves as extension of university, that we only do research, and then ours is research and development. But we didn't focus energy on the development. So now we have identified some critical stakeholders and partners in the country and outside the country to make sure that we are able to commercialize our product. That's why we are even coming up with the African Space Economic Conference. Last weekend, I spoke with one of the advisors of Alhaji Dangote, and I'm going up and down to make sure that we bring caliber of people like that to the conference. South Africa is going to mobilize a lot of their private sector in engineering, in the space sector, to come and do demonstration, to come and exhibit. Same thing in Nigeria here and some other people all over the. So we are calling on our Nigerian investors. The biggest and the fastest growing economic sector in the world is the space economy. And you can see all the billionaires in all over the world. They've divested into the space sector because they know the economic potential is great. Elon Musk was a regular millionaire and few millions in 2005 when he came into the space sector. There are so many. I will help us break it down further. Do you know that the lithium battery that made Tesla the fastest and the biggest automobile in the whole world within 5 years of Tesla and made so much money for Elon Musk is a spin-off from the space sector? We scientists and engineers, we didn't even recognize the opportunity. Satellites that goes to the outer space since 1970s have been carrying lithium batteries. That's why those satellites can last for 20, 30 years in the orbit. The guy came into our sector, saw the opportunity, and he was able to build the Mercedes, the Ford, all of them that have been in the sector that they are still doing the R&D, and Tesla was born. So many other things. My scientists are the first in the whole world that cauterize graphene battery or graphene application, especially for energy and battery, is 3 times better than lithium. And in Nasarawa there, we have graphene in commercial quantity. We have it all in another part of the country too. And that graphene is the one that we take over from lithium. We have it in Nigeria here. My engineers are the first set of people in the whole world that cauterize it. We've done the publication about it. We've done the note-up about it as well. And these are the opportunity that is hanging there for us to explore. I hope people will come and look into this aspect. Then the honorable that asked a question about the space program in Ekpe, our rocketry, the job opportunity for people in Ekpe. There's no government institution that will be established in one locality that will not have content from that locality. We have citizens, indigenous of Ekpe among our workforce. I'm telling you authoritatively. So each time we are recruiting, we always be sensitive to. But the approval the Space Council gave us this year, we open big opportunity for resident indigenous in Ekpe there to partake in our space program there. Where we are now is even military facility. Our permanent site is just being approved, and then we are waiting for fund to actually build a big complex for that purpose. And for the other benefit, I have more than 200 staff in Ekpede. All of them are collecting salary. They patronize the farmers and farming activities and fishing activities in Ekpede. The economic potential that they are bringing, the rent houses there, they are building houses there. So the center in Ekpe is already been contributing to the economic activities in Ekpe already. But we will do more as we are developing the facility further in the area. Then my last person that talk about Honorable Saji, talk about the opportunity for participation. We are opening up the door further because we ran the hackathon before, but the new set of hackathon we want to run, we give inventors and innovators opportunity to come on board. And that's why you see the disruptive skill acquisition for Nigerian youth. It's an opportunity for us to train more Nigerians and equip them and empower them to go after the training. They can set up their cottage industry and contribute to the economy of our dear nation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Matthew. I will now go back to Honorable Falco. Are you there, please? I'm unmuting you now, so you can.
Hello, I'm there already.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Baba.
Yeah.
I salute you. It's a quick one. I want to thank Ambassador Adebola. In fact, Honorable Adebola, I just pray that God will look after you and bless you more than you can imagine. I'm praying and I'm joining my faith with 90 participants live on this program that God will remember you and bless you more than your imagination. I won't say that. To our guest. Oh God, I'm filled with the Spirit. To our guest, you have really prepared. And I can say to you, sir, you have prepared more than enough. Look at your notes. So this note will be sent and will be forwarded to our members. Now, my question is this. I've invited a lot of people. I know you have talked about opportunity. I've told my guests, I have over 690 of them that I invited, only few joined. Please, sir, give them details of how they can benefit from the program and how they can tap in. Also, give email and details, please. Sir, I drove my heart for you. If I can show my video, I'll prostrate for you with this presentation. First class. You must be a minister.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm so grateful, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Falco, for that recommendation. Thank you very much indeed. I'll move on to, please, I would like to announce, if you are raising your hand to ask a question or make a comment, can you please change your device name to your name in order for security purposes so we can know who's talking? Yeah. Please, I will now move on to Adebola Alani. Could you please unmute yourself and ask your question or make your comment, please? Adebola Alani.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. You are welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for bringing up programs like this. Yes, we are very grateful. I'm representing National Coordinator for Youths in my area in Lugbe. Yes, the program that you are bringing up, I just want to ask a few questions, not much. This program that you are bringing up, is it going to benefit all the youths at the grassroots level, sir? Because the youths are really complaining that they are not seeing the improvement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the grassroots level. So I know with this aspect of NASDAQ, this space information, I think is going to go far. And it's going to really help all the youths in Nigeria to be part of this. So let's see if this program, as it's going to come up now, maybe all youths will be part of it from the grassroots level. I'm mentioning the grassroots level because they are really complaining. They are putting in sentiments against 2027. And I don't want this to happen again as a support group leader, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your question. I will now move on to Kayode Odimayomi. Could you please unmute yourself and ask your question or make your comment? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm indeed very grateful. I'm a former staff of NASDAQ. I'm a baby boy to the DG, the guest speaker today that just made a fantastic presentation. I'll make comments and I will ask questions. I stand to identify with my boss, even though retired, but I'm still very active with him. He's a very good listener. We chat, we talk. I want to appreciate his political connection with the government, because if we want fund from the government, we cannot be an enemy of the government. I appreciate his disposition to the government in power. And I also want to appreciate him for being available, interacting with stakeholders. That being said, as my comments, my question or my charge are as follows. There is need to identify with merit and interest. You know, merit and interest. I happen to have worked for about 22 years before I voluntarily retired, and I have my landmarks that cannot be taken away. More to that, I want to charge that we should allow those centers to independently deliver. And that should be, the umpire should be able to have a check mark with them. For example, like the Center for Satellite Development, they do not have business romancing with the headquarters. They should be able to independently be able to deliver, and the engineering department in the headquarters should be able to, request from them quarterly report, and more so, same thing to every other centers and laboratories. They can be friends when they need to socialize, but when it's time to work, do the research and do the development, there is need to show products. Even as a retired scientist, or as a retired researcher, an engineer from the agency, I still send proposals. I still request for the way forward. Now I have an aerospace company set up in Canada and functional. And some of the listeners today, I'm attending to some of the requests from them. So, and I interlink with other space companies here in Canada, in Europe, in North and South America. And there are a lot of products that have been developed. And I would say, as I conclude, that while I was in the office enjoying the support of our leaders in NASDAQ, the Advanced Composite Center in University of Ilorin is a potential money spinning laboratory if attention is paid to it. Not for money making. When I say I make myself available to be able to be a consulting person to them. Today, before I left, I link up the laboratory with the automobile center. With the composite materials that we've started working with, we can develop the body for the automobile industry. Right now in Canada here, $20 million is being given to my sister company to develop the body of a small car for Muchibushi. Funds are available both home and abroad. Thank you, my DG, for at least stretching hands to Dangote Company and the leaders there to bring them into the space sector. There are a lot that we can do. And as I conclude, and this is a charge, the agency cannot manage 6,000 staff manually. It is time to move up to DG2 staff management. And that proposal I've given to more than 2 or 3 of my colleagues there, that there is need, and I'm aware of some efforts internally that has been developed, but that were jettisoned. It is time to move that my DG can sit in his office and can track where staff ABC is. And if he needs to embark on any project, he can pick those staff from the homepage of the staff tracker. All these products are available either customized or off the shelf. Thank you, my dear DG. God bless you. I appreciate your disposition always, and I will not relent in being part of NASDAQ until we have more than enough products to show Nigerians, to show the whole world that we can do it. Thank you. Moderator, I appreciate.
Thank you, Mr. Kayode. Now is the floor to our VVIP, Dr. Matthew Olumide. You have the floor now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very, very much. I think I will infer the cone this time around. Let me start with the last speaker, Dr. Kayode Odumayomi, who gave an excellent contribution to the development of agency. He was one of the coordinators of our centers, and he got to the pinnacle. In fact, when he was leaving NASDAQ, I wasn't happy, but I was not DG that time. Maybe I would have struck a Ronaldo kind of contract for him. However, your passion still remained the same and even burning, like a burning fire. To engage you as a consultant, I don't have problem with that at all. We can do that one next week so that we can benefit from your wealth of experience on homeland as well as on the foreign land. The issue concerning the Center for Satellite Technology Development, I will take this one up immediately for quarterly report. It's not going to be only that center because we have three major departments that oversee the activities and affairs of laboratories and centers. It might not be quarterly, but at least it should be twice in a year. When I became DG, I requested for the report of every centers and laboratory, and I even made the money available for them to print it so that there won't be any form of delay regarding that. So that's a good advice as well. On the issue of staff digital management, we actually developed the software for Salaries and Wages Commission when the immediate past chairman of the commission told me that he wants to be able to monitor and manage his officers because of the peculiar nature of the problem he had in that place. But nonetheless, we have not deployed for our staff, but we would like to compare with the other platform you have. And I will send the Dr. Idris Jega, who is SA Technical, to me to reach out to you so that he can organize the meeting where you can make presentation on the one you have developed. The agency have gone further than what it used to be. Now we conduct our promotion exercise digitally, unlike before. So we are using the digital platform to conduct our promotion exercise. You don't need to leave where you are to come and do promotion exercise again. We did it last year. We're going to do it next year, and that will be the minimum standard for NASDAQ. We are transiting gradually. We will continue to partner with technical partners that can help us do all these things. Honorable Adebola, you talk about the opportunity for the youth. Last year, we were able to train 75 youth in the area of telecommunications maintenance. Those masts, those DSTV, those are some of the training that we can offer as low-hanging fruit. Please, you say you have about 3,000 youth under your platform. We have major challenge because when you look at my slide, our target is to train different kind of training because it's not only one, up to 15,000 per annum. And of course, what you are feeling, I'm feeling it too because I also have a support group which is doing a great work. But the same feedback is what we are getting. And that's what even inform us of putting some of this program that is dedicated to the youth empowerment. Well, the budget provision is there, but the fund release is a major obstacle. We'll continue to engage with the finance and then the accountant general office to do better for us so that we can alleviate the poverty or the challenges of our youth. Please write to us. We'll see how we can put a program together to help the youth under your platform as well. Then my dear friend, the FACO, talks about the opportunity from the space sector that we should crystallize it. I will pass it to the Director of Space Enterprise and then Director of Innovation and Incubation, we have the list of areas in which young Nigerians and the private sector can come in. And of course, I will use this opportunity to invite you and your team to African Space Economic Conference and Exhibition in Abuja here. We are looking at the International Conference Center to host it. We are waiting for, we hope our president, who is the chairman of the council, will flag it off during that period. So if there's anyone that missed out, please, maybe you can, I will leave my email and my phone number so that you can reach out to me. Somebody said, I want to help me to work on the presentation. That's a Lord Freedom. I will share the presentation with you, and then you can, because knowledge is not residual in somebody's hand. Your contribution is highly valuable. And Dr. Nick, you asked the question about economic benefit of the space program. The economic benefit of the space program is enormous. All the ship that comes to Nigeria, most of them are collecting their navigational charting data from South Africa, and they are paying dollars. The aircraft that are coming to Nigeria, they are collecting their data from all over the world, not in Nigeria here. The potential and opportunity is so huge. It's so huge. Please come closer and let us explore the beautiful, beautiful business venture and opportunity that is in our ecosystem. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Matthew. I will now go back to our chairman. I will now go back to our chairman, J.K. Adebola, Ambassador J.K. Adebola. You have the floor now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much, Alhaji Dauda, for that for your segment. It's much appreciated. Quickly now, we still got so many hands up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like we said before, unless your name appears, we will not be calling you, I'm afraid, because for security purposes, we'd like to know those who we are giving the floor to speak at our conference. So you may, if you don't have your name, I would suggest you log out and log back in again with your name, because obviously when you want to log in, Zoom will ask you for your name. So once you put your name in, so it's going to log you in as who you really are. So I'm going to go straight by the people who have their names. I've got Layago, I've got Lanre Suraju, I know that name, and Michael's iPhone. Those are the three that I'm going to be calling next now. So if you are not one of those three, please log out and log back in with your name so that we can give you the floor. We've got only 26 minutes now to go, and we want to make use of those 26 minutes. So right about now, let me call Lai Aguru. Lai Aguru, you have the floor now. Please unmute yourself whilst Lanre Suraju of Header Resources Center should please be on standby. So
Yeah.
Lai Aguru, you have the floor now.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I'd like to congratulate the Director General, Chief Executive of NASDA. He's doing a very wonderful job there.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to thank him so much, because NASDA, some few years ago, is no longer, it has moved up to a reputable institution of government. My question is, whose mandate is it to launch satellites in Nigeria? Because I've looked at your mandate and I find out that it is a mandate of NASDA to launch any satellite, whether it is communication satellite, whether it is Earth observation satellite, whether it is defense satellites. But now you just told us that Nicomsat will be launching their own satellites. Whose mandate is it really to launch satellite in Nigeria? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so very much for that. Let me just move quickly to Honorable Lanre Suraju. Honorable Lanre Suraju, you have the floor now, sir.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. And then I mean, going by all the commendations I have, no other reservation, also commending the DG, not only for his presentation here, but also representing I can say young adults of his age groups by the transformation that is happening at the space agency. And I think it would be important, because I have been seeing people just talking about their constituency Also talking about people in locations where the agency has offices and the rest of that. But and I'm a bit kind of concerned, and it would be very helpful that we have this opportunity and him also talking to a plethora of Nigeria from different, background and location. How our natural resources, with the abundancy of the commercial quantity that you mentioned of these resources that will replace lithium, how these our resources will be safeguarded from foreign exploitation. We've had that very sad reality with the oil and gas, where we only become a rentier economy, that foreign investors take advantage, and the community are left with the consequences of environmental degradation. We are also seeing that with lithium that you mentioned, not only leaving us with degraded environment, is also the level of insecurity. Most of the insecurity that we have in Kwara, in Kogi, Niger, Samfara, is as a result of gold mining and the lithium that these foreign investors are illegally, and even the ones that are legally, also conducting. How are we to ensure, one, that Nigerians also become deeply involved in the investment? So I'm happy that you said you're talking to Dangote and the rest of them, that he can liberalize it for other people to invest. How are we also to ensure the security of the community and the host community of these natural resources? And the last one is also ensuring that the communities are not left with bearing the consequences of the impact of exploitation and extraction of these resources post-investment period. Thank you very much, and also congratulations. I mean, I don't expect anything less. We were together in school, and I know how much of how passionate and committed you are to some of these issues. So thank you very much, Mr. Moderator and host.
Thank you so very much, sir. So lastly, for this segment, I'm going to call Michael's iPhone. But before that, Technopop 5, Xiaomi, Freedom Force. I don't believe these are names of humans. But like I said earlier on, I'll repeat it again. Please log out and log back in with your name, because we are holding a program here where we need to protect the integrity of our program and the integrity of our special guests. So anybody who we are going to give the floor to speak here, we must know who you are by your name. So please, I will not be calling you unless you log out and log back in with your names. So please try and do that within the next few minutes. So while I call Michael's iPhone, the only reason I call Michael iPhone is because it's called Michael on it. And Michael is a human name. So that is the reason I'm calling him. So Michael, you have the floor now. Michael's iPhone, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Ambassador. This is Dr. Michael Tomari.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr.
Okay,
Adepoju, for your brilliant presentation. Please, your agency actually have a big role to play against insecurity in our country.
Absolutely.
Especially, we need your agency to assist the military with capacity to locate the bandits and terrorists, most especially in very hard to reach area. Look at this critically. I don't expect you to actually reply this because of the security implication, but I'm like a boy to AFM that retired that you celebrated just yesterday. He picked me like a kid just when we were doing interview attended that time in 1990. So thank you for what you are doing at NASA. But we are actually expecting a lot from you. With your brilliancy, I believe there is nothing you can achieve in that agency. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Michael Tomori. So I'll leave the floor now to our special guest to respond to those questions.
Thank you very much, sir. Agoro, that has the question that whose mandate is to launch satellite for Nigeria. That mandate is not given to anybody other than NASDA, National Space Research and Development Agency, is the only agency of federal government that have the mandate to launch satellite for Nigeria. And even when people try to go one way or the other, they will still come back to us. Because the one that is launched by the military is launched in the name of NASDAQ. Because we are the signatory to all the international treaties. And their partners know that. And when they go round and round, they will still come back to us. But we do things in a way that is not the right way in the country, but we will continue to talk to them and then to both private and government institutions. But we don't want to lock the system down. The only thing is let NASA be involved so that you get value for money, especially when you are using federal government money for such foray. Even if you are launching satellite as a private entity in Nigeria, NASA still needs to be aware and be involved. And I think last year we have some private sector that granted a media interview that they want to launch satellite for Nigeria. They want to do this. But we reach out to them. They are trying to retrace their step and make sure that they comply with the law of the land. Just like you cannot just put aircraft in the Nigerian airspace and be flying without registering with government agency that have the mandate to do that. Same thing, you cannot put your car on the road and be driving it up and down without registering it with the agencies of the government that have the mandate for that. Same thing is the same thing when it comes to the space sector, because there are international treaties that guides all those objects in the outer space, and we are the custodian of that authority. That's why the launch of the satellite is a mandate of NASA, but we can sit together and do it together in a way that everybody is happy to do it on the agenda. The second one, my own dear brother, who happens to be my president of Student Union Government at Yaba College of Technology. If they didn't cut us short, I will have been your vice president as well. Honorable Larry Suraj, thank you very much for the question regarding the how to safeguard our solid minerals from exploitation and then even insecurity. We've done the research work in the agency, and most of the insecurity in the country is driven by minerals that is in those communities. But they put it under the context of community clashes and so. We've identified some of those communities that people left and then go to the IDP. There is a lot of active illegal mining activities that is going on around those communities, especially Plateau State and other states. There are some level of information that cannot be shared on a platform like this. So, but when it comes to insecurity in the country, it's a fact that solid mineral, there is no country that is blessed more than Nigeria. And that's why I used to joke and tell people that God is in Nigeria. And in actual fact, God is in Nigeria because going from where I came from Ile-Ife, that the origin of humanity starts from Ile-Ife, God is in Nigeria. Thank you very much. So the investment, for us to get investors and investment into our ecosystem, that's why we brought up the African Space Economic Conference. We are bringing partners, the technical partners and investors all around the world to meet Nigerian investors. Even if your company is only 10 people or 5 people, please endeavor to attend, because the people you will meet, our law require any trading activities on commercial or anything in Nigeria. Nigerian entity must be part of it. That's local content. We have the Federal Executive Order number 5 that states that anything that is being done in Nigeria, Nigerian entity must be part of it. So opportunities is here. But if you don't come to that kind of a platform where you can network and meet people to establish and put you on the path of irreversible growth economically, it will break my heart. The issue about the impact in the community, I'd say for a fact that one of our company, which is a joint venture between NASA and the private sector, we are supporting the Ministry of Mines with all these illegal mining activities that we are monitoring them, and then even whatever the quantity that they are mining as well, we are monitoring it. That's why they cannot lie the way they used to lie about when they fill their form. And you can see the result in the upward movement of the revenue from that ministry. So this is very, very important for us. We are continuing it. And then in fact, the managing director was telling me just yesterday that the ministry is ready to give us more state, because the first one we are doing now is Nasarawa State, and then they are giving us additional 9 states to be able until we get national coverage for this aspect. Then it seems I don't know whether it's Brigadier General or Major General Michael that asked the question about security application. I'm happy that you are from the sector, and you know for a fact that in the security sector, I used to crack a joke, and my friend doesn't like it. But the truth is, when a military man writes even love letter, they will still put restriction on it. Some of the things we are doing for the sector cannot be discussed openly. In fact, about two or three Fridays ago, I went to meet with the presidential advisor on Homeland Security and told him the support we can give, how we can leverage the space technology, and some of the things we share regarding schools that are vulnerable to attack. There are some of those things that we already done, and then, but when we share it, we don't, because they are not obliged to give us what they are doing with it, because that goes beyond us. Ours is to make sure we make those information available, and then we hope God will continue to bless this country. But this country is no more a blind country with the space technology. We can see most of the things that happens day and night. Thank you very much. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Now we've got 3 hands up, but I'm just going to call 2 because it is those 2 that have their names up. So after that, we'll be closing for the day. So the first in line will be Freedom Mshindi Force, and the next one will be Sada Umar Yandaki. So the first one I'm going to be giving the floor now will be Freedom Mshindi Force. You have the floor now, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
good evening, sir.
Thank you. One of the core mandates of this agency is tracking Nigeria's environmental and agricultural resources through remote sensing. I've seriously been thrilled by the presentation over the past couple of hours of joining. So I wanted to ask, on this geospatial farm mapping related to the EUDR, which the deadline is for this December, I see there's a recent collaboration with the European partners. So I would love to know the sporadic action that is being engineered to ensure that the livelihood of our farmers, because more than 500,000 largest cocoa producing country in the world, if we do not meet with the requirements of the EUDR, our cocoa farmers and other EUDR related crops like palm oil, they will be knocked out of the market.
Okay, thank you so very much for that. I think I'll move on swiftly now to the last but not the least participant, Sada Umar Yandaki. Sada Umar Yandaki, you have the floor now, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I would like to commend the DG and the center of the agency for this wonderful development in Nigeria. And secondly, I would like to bring an attention of the DG or the agency concerning the security aspect of the space administration.
I didn't hear him for some time.
Okay. What of now, sir?
I can hear you now.
Me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you, sir.
I started with commending your office and the agency at large for this great development and initiatives. And secondly, I would like to suggest, I don't know whether if you have gone far concerning this issue, the issue of insecurity in the northwest and northeast region of the country, which there is what can you do using space innovations to safeguard our security and the life and property of these regions that are suffering from this issue of insecurity, ranging from banditry and robbery and what have you, cattle rustling. That's the second. Then the third one is what are the agency doing to safeguard our environment, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, like northwest and northeast, using the geospatial environmental information system. And I remain Sada Umar Ndaki. I'm a master's student, MSc in Sustainable Environmental Studies in Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for that too. We've got another hands up, even though we've given you the floor before, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt now and calling you because you have your name up. Technopop 5, I'm sorry, I will not be calling you. This is the third time you're coming on, and I've announced this many times that we want you to go back and come back in with your name. You still haven't done that. So for that reason, I'll be going over you and calling Abubakar Zaji Bunu. So this, for the last time, is the last call. Oh, God Almighty. You see, I said it earlier on, everybody who wants to speak, please put your hands up on time. 6 on the dot, we are closing. If our special guest takes the rest of the time, and that'll be it. So, Abubakar Zaji Bunu, I'm going to call you now. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. So, mine also today is not question, but a special appreciation to our father in the country of Joseph Adepoju.
Your line is not very we can't hear you at all. We can't hear you at all. So I don't know, maybe if our special guest will respond to the other two, the four. We have 2 more hands now, but I will want you to respond to the other 2 first so that we'll keep to our time. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, my chairman, for the great job you are doing. I have a question regarding environmental and agricultural water resources. What is the space sector is doing? I made a bold to say that I cut out more than 30 slides from my usual slide that deal with application, because in those that is where we've done exceedingly well. We are the one that is supporting the World Bank program on the ACRICEL. ACRICEL has to do with reclamation of degraded land in the northern part of 19 northern states in the country. And we are actively supporting them. We are the technical partner for ACRICEL and so many other ones like that. Great Green Wall is another one that we are supporting. And drought and desertification, we've done extensive research about the rate of the drought and desertification in the country. We've done the mapping of erosion in the southeastern part of the country. I even led that research team. And then we've done the deforestation studies in fact, during our research work is where we discovered that the forest between Nigeria and Cameroon is the 5th largest forest in the world, and we nicknamed it the 5th oxygen pipe. But it breaks my heart when we were doing another research about regional risk and vulnerability of countries around the Chad in 2019. On the Cameroon side, because I led the Chad team and Cameroon, the rate at which they are cutting down the trees in the forest in the Cameroon side, we are making effort in Nigeria here to ban the tree cutting and all those things on our side. But the other side is a national movement or a national policy. So these are some of the things that remote sensing has helped us to bring to the global community. That one was even sponsored by UNFAO. And we've got a lot of international funding for most of our projects like that. The area of cocoa UNEDR, NASA is actually like a clearing house. So we put a mechanism in place, and the international community, EU and Ministry of Agric, has made us a technical partner as a clearinghouse, because what the EU DRU is talking about is they will not allow any agricultural produce that is a product of cutting down the forest. And I remember in the filler, when I was making the presentation to them, I said there couldn't be anybody to be engaged or to be, I was actually invited as a speaker there. And I told them, I used myself as a sample, that I came from a village where my father was a farmer and the second largest cocoa producer in the Okolo Axis in Oyo State in Erua. But the man died. We gave our farmland to our cousins because everybody was educated and out of the country. The cocoa farm has become forest now. So in my retirement, if I go back to the place now and I want to farm in there, then are you going to stop me from doing that? Because it's like a bush now. But satellite remote sensing since 1976 and go, we've got satellite images that we can look back in time and see places that are used to be farmland. We know at a point in time, all of us left the farm. We are not farming more. But if you are going back there now, that satellite base. So they said we should do the work to check your farm. If your farm used to be farmland before, then you are good to go. So this mechanism is put in place for palm wine, for palm plantation, cocoa plantation, and many other more. I wish I have enough time to talk more. On the issue of cattle rustling, we've developed the GPS, but we are still waiting for the Ministry of, we've written to them. We can put a earring for the cattle rustler, wherever anybody is taking your, and then we can even do it in a way that people will not know where the small chips is on your cattle, to make sure even the issue of headers and farmers, we know the cattle that come in here that hit my father's maize or my father's cassava. All these things, we believe that the ministry that have the lead mandate. In fact, that's one of the things that we discussed with another partner that came from AFDP this week, last week, Tuesday. So thank you very much for this opportunity to interact with all of us. I wish I can talk more or we have more time. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much for responding to all the questions, bar none. Thank you so very much. Again, apologies to those who still have their hands up. Like I said at the beginning of the meeting, if you want to ask a question, please endeavor to put your hands up in time so that we'll be able to call everybody within the time, because we told our special guests we are closing 6 on the dot, and because of the crazy schedule that they have, within which they were magnanimous enough to spare 2 hours with us, I think it will be a disservice on us, on them, for us to elongate that more than necessary. So that's the reason why we are sticking to our 2 hours. It's just a minute to 6 o'clock now, so we'll not be taking any more questions. So please, if you have more questions that you want to throw at our special guest, please put it in the chat room. We'll pick it up and send it to him. If you put in your email address there, then you are sure to get a response directly from our special guest. So on this note, sir, we will be drawing the curtain here, but not before expressing our appreciation to you, sir, for not only accepting our invitation, but coming well prepared, like one of the participants said earlier on, with your presentation, which for me took everybody back to university again. We've had that maybe about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but today again you brought us back to basics, and I love that, because it's always good when special guest makes presentation like this, because some people take pictures of the slides. At least for future, I do.
Please, you can share the presentation to the members.
We will.
Yes, sir.
Because it is very educative, and it is always there for posterity's sake, so that if maybe 2 months, 3 years down the line, when someone is kind of reflecting on what we discussed today, and certain things are not clear to them, they can easily revisit the slide that you shared, and that would enlighten their mind. So that's one of the reasons why, me personally, I like it when our special guest come with a presentation like this. So thank you so very much, sir. Even though I remembered it was when I was speaking to you this afternoon that you said to me, you never knew that you were supposed to do that. And I said, well, it's a choice whether you want. You said, don't worry, I will do it. And I'm thinking in my head, how is it going to prepare?
Immediately after our conversation, I sat on my system since that time to make the presentation ready.
I was thinking in my head, how is he going to do the presentation when I was just talking to him 2 hours to the time? But then you prove now that you are professional to the core, so thank you so very much for that, because, and I'm sure Nigerians across the world will appreciate what you just did today, because not only have you, because remember at the beginning, I was talking about the fact that certain people were throwing, people throw stuff around, people who don't like their fatherland, the Yorubas will call them Omali. I'm not sure how to. I don't want to paraphrase that, but anybody who uses his left hand to point to his father's house, Yorubas have a name for them. So those are the kind of people who they never see anything good in the country. Those are the ones who told the world that the satellites, whatever it is, that what we mounted on the satellite have been stolen. And even though I'm not a scientist, it just doesn't make sense to me that anybody can, because the orbit is not where anybody will travel to by taking Bolekaja. So how could anybody just go there and steal what was put there? But believe it or not, millions of people believe that, they believe that kind of nonsense. So I'm so glad that you now made us to realize that it wasn't stolen, it was just deorbited for one reason or the other. It's a scientific thing. That is why the Bible says the things of the spirit are foolishness to the understand mind. People who knows neither left from their right are the people who are trying to dictate the narrative to Nigerians. And it's so unfortunate that many of our people are believing those lies. And that is one of the reasons why we set up this platform, for us to be able to enlighten Nigerians, to say, look, don't believe all the nonsense you are reading on the social media. If you want to know what is really going on in Nigeria, come to the UNITO Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. We will bring people in the know, people who are within the system, who will come and discuss with you. And if you have any question, throw it at them, and they will answer you. And you've just done brilliantly well about that today. So thank you so very much, and my regards to your family, because it is not easy. I'm a family man too. It's not easy for a family to allow you to come and sit down and be talking to total strangers for 2 hours. It's not it's not easy. So thank you so very much.
I'm so grateful, and I'm willing to do it again and again and again.
Thank you so much. So before we go, sir, can you just give us your last remarks to Nigerians across the world regarding what we just discussed today, sir, and Nigeria as a whole, as a country?
Thank you very much. I will take it where my chairman is stopping. The time has come for Nigeria to believe in ourselves, because I know for a fact that on the scale of 1 to the number of the countries in the world, Nigerians are number 1 to 10 in terms of intelligence.
Yes.
We need to believe in ourselves, hardworking. The few Nigerians that are doing bad things all over the world, they are small to the quantity and quantum of Nigerians who are doing so well, who are making us proud all over the world. It is a statement of fact that we are the most educated Nigerian tribes and group of people in United States of America. And when you go to United Kingdom too, the statistics is similar. And it takes a country of people that are well endowed with super intelligence. But we need to believe in ourselves and support our own. All the countries of the world, they have their internal problem. They don't carry it to the marketplace. But in Nigeria, we carry our national problem to the marketplace, and everybody is insulting us. God will take us there. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to interface with this group of wonderful Nigerians. And I've put the comment in there. Please, if you want to engage with the agency, write a letter to the agency. My email or my office address, just put Obasanjo Space Center, Airport Road, National Space Research and Development Agency. The door is open, and we will make sure Nigerians are active participants in the Nigerian space program. We want to create space economy where it works for all Nigerians, and the opportunities is there. We are here to show you the way. Bring investors, bring your partners all over the world. Let us do it together. Let's put NASA. Let's support the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Renew Hope agenda. We will surely get there, and we will surely get there. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. God bless you. I couldn't have put it, I couldn't have put it any better than that. You just nailed it in the head. So I think every Nigerians are blessed with with the presentation and the remarks. I'm sure everybody has one thing or the other to pick from it. So thank you so very much, and God bless you, sir. So before I will close the curtain, let me just acknowledge the presence of some leaders and stakeholders from across the world. Engineer Patrick Abidogun from Manchester, UK, FACO. I'm not sure whether he's still in the UK or it's in Nigeria, but he's in between the two of them. Thank you so very much for being part of this program. He comes every week, so he's one of our stakeholders. Thank you so very much, sir. Professor Goji A. Esquire, thank you so very much. Al-Haja Kairat from USA, thank you so very much for being part of this. Dr. Wilson Balogun, thank you so much. Honorable Lare Suraju of HEDA, thank you so very much. If there's any name that I've missed out, please don't be offended. It's just that in the nick of the whole thing, sometimes we miss out certain things. If there's anything, I'll probably put it in my report for tomorrow. So thank you everybody for being part of this. We will be back next week Saturday, even though some of us are going to Canada for another event where we'll be bringing in more investors into the country. We might be signing maybe a couple of MOUs there as well, because that's what we do every now and then. We go out there to bring investors into the country. So we will be doing that next week. But that will not stop us from coming back next Saturday to bring another leader who will speak to us on another topical issue that is germane to the country. So thank you so very much for being part of this. But before we go, let me call on Dr. Damagum to give us the closing remark before we draw the curtain. Dr. Damagum, you have the floor now. Can somebody please unmute? Ask Dr. Damagum to unmute, please. I'm looking for him now. Anybody who sees him, please help us to unmute him. I saw him came in earlier on in place of Hajia Rekia. Dr. Damagum, are you still there? Okay, in the absence of...
I can do it.
Okay, Alhaji Dauda, please do it quickly so that we don't belabor our special guests. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ambassador J.K. Adebola, our chairman. On behalf of Renew Hope Global Town Hall Conference, I sincerely thank our esteemed VVIP, Dr. Matthew Olumide Adepoju.
Thank you, sir.
For coming to speak to us today. The participants making today's global conference, we thank you. Your valuable insight, thoughtful contribution, and continued commitment to advance the Renew Hope agenda are deeply appreciated. As we conclude today's events, we wish you a safe journey if you're traveling, and a wonderful weekend, and continued success in all your endeavors. We look forward to welcoming you again at our next weekly conference, God willing. Thank you, and God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm so grateful, sir.
Thank you so very much, Alhaji Dauda, for that. And thank you once again to our special guest. We've been a wonderful special guest. And like he said, we must come knocking on the door again by popular demand. If people want to hear about your NASDAQ again, we might come and knock on your door. And I believe, being a national leader that you are, you will oblige us again like you've done this time. So thank you so very much, and my regards to your family too.
Thank you,
and
sir.
God bless Nigerians across the world. Thank you so very much for always keeping faith with us, never getting tired. That we come to your door invade your space, your privacy every Saturday. It's all for the country, because we don't have any other country. Nigeria is our country, and as far as I'm concerned, I may be biased, but for me, no better country than Nigeria. You know, you can take that to the bank any day, and I can guarantee you cash it. Because like our special guest said earlier on, Nigerians, we are unique species. And that is why other countries are jealous. That is why they are driving us away from South Africa, even though we were the ones that liberated them. To God be the glory. We did it. They don't know we, but hey, then go no sooner or later when the chicken come home to roost. But we are who we are, and we make no apologies for that. So thank you so very much. Be with us next week again, and God bless you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.